Hi everyone and welcome back to today's morning report on Thursday the 16th of June with me, Rich Pro Market Analyst at Antec Markets. Moving on to sterling dollar, and it seems as though that obviously the dollar weakness that we saw yesterday did sort of help to pull cable higher, but again it seems as though that the minor inconvenience of a Fed meeting is now out of the way, so people can focus once more on Brexit, and subsequently sterling is declining once more. You look at the outlook on the technicals, remain very negative. MACD lines negatively configured. Stochastics still falling. RSI failing at 40. That doesn't look good, and has downside potential as well. 30 is a very distinct possibility, but look at that sell-off in January. 15. So subsequently, I think you're selling into strength on cable because it seems as though the market is fairly sort of moving towards the fact that the uncertainty needs to be priced in properly, and subsequently selling off cable is the way to do that. Choppy moves in the last few days, certainly. I mean, the Fed meeting did help to support cable. A little bit of a mild recovery on a positive poll yesterday, but then the Fed meeting, again a mildly bullish move, but it just dropped off overnight, and I think ultimately we are selling into strength now. 42.18 was yesterday's high on the Fed. Resistance there, 42.15, 42.20, around that sort of level. Spiked just earlier to 42.05, but then fell away again. I think rallies are a chance to sell, and any chance you get now, because you're trading underneath the 43.30 level, which was that big near-term breakdown. And you got the resistance of that rebound that you can see better on the hourly chart, which was this candle here. That resistance on the rebound that got sold off. So subsequently, I think that any sort of minor rebounds are a chance to sell. But certainly, looking at the outlook on this chart, there is further downside potential even on the hourly. MACD lines turning lower. Stochastics falling away, RSI falling away as well. I think that we're going to see further retest of the low that we saw at 40.90, which actually got hit a couple of times, and 40.90, interestingly enough, coincides with this low here on the 14th. So get the crosshair to 40.90 there or thereabouts. 2 days in a row, pretty much hitting 40.89. So that is supportive. So if you did break that, I think you're going to come back to test the low, which is 40.04, but 40 figure really. And I think ultimately it'll be really interesting to see if in the next week we do come back and test 38.33, because it certainly seems likely that the Brexit vote is going to be incredibly tight. No one really knows how it's going to go, and I think ultimately that's going to drive sterling lower in the next week because of the fear of a Brexit. Likely to test possibly even that, as I said, 40 figure, but also 38.30, which was that low from Feb. So I wish you good luck in your trading on cable today, and I'll speak to you later.